Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 6. Students at 2 primary schools in St. Anne are in a better position to access the virtual lessons being administered this academic year after the Education Ministry provided them with a total of 144 tablets on the weekend. On Sunday, the Education Ministry distributed 126 tablets to Brownstown Primary, while 18 of the devices were delivered to Alva Primary. An additional 8 tablets were handed over to Brownstown Primary on behalf of New Fortress Energy. They will benefit students from grades 4 to 6 who are on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education path. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams says the tablets will assist in bridging the digital divide as government continues on an irreversible path to strengthening the technological capacity and infrastructure in schools across the island.
You've probably heard us talk about putting satellite connection on 100 schools across Jamaica, especially those schools that do not now have internet connectivity. And that installation is to start this week. I know the equipment is here. It did take a little time to get to Jamaica, but I know it's here now, and that rollout will happen very quickly over the next 2 weeks.
Under the Education Ministry's Tablets in Schools program, 40,000 tablets are to be distributed to 500 primary schools. The tablets are being distributed by eLearning Jamaica, and the process is slated to be completed by the end of November. These will augment the 18,000 tablets and approximately 12,000 desktop computers already in the school system. Virtual training activities for Justices of the Peace JPs is set to expand following the acquisition of additional office equipment for the Justice Training Institute. On Friday, Global Affairs Canada donated smart boards and other office equipment to facilitate the Justice Ministry's training of the trainers program for JPs.
So the end result of all this is that training becomes easier once we can see who is interacting because they're on the smart board. So we know that they're actually participating, so that we know that they have been a part of the 6-hour training or 18 hours training that we do for the newly appointed Justices of the Peace.
The Justice Minister says the virtual trainings will continue as the ministry works to limit the spread of COVID-19 among the population. Government is working on a COVID-19 relief program for persons in the fisheries sector. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green says the details on the relief program will be provided shortly. He was addressing a public forum hosted for local fisherfolk at the Old Harbour Bay Baptist Church in St. Catherine recently. Mr. Green told the fisherfolk that he would provide details of the program in the House of Representatives within 2 weeks.
We're going to every single parish, and when we finish, the technical team is going to pull together a list of what has been said, what are the recommendations. We will sit down as a ministry and go through them and then craft a plan of action.
The Old Harbour Forum, which was held virtually, is part of an island-wide program to engage farmers and fisherfolk in dialogue to chart the way forward for the agriculture and fisheries sector. The Port Royal Street Coastal Revetment Project, which began in March this year, is on track for completion in April 2021, on time and within budget. The update comes from Omar Sweeney, Managing Director of the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF. The project aims to create protective infrastructure along the Port Royal Street corridor to safeguard it from the effects of storm surges. This corridor is considered an integral part of the east-west transportation network in the Kingston metropolitan area. During a recent tour of the area, Mr. Sweeney said the project would assist in attracting investments and support the revitalization of the downtown Kingston area.
Wave action has eroded most of the shoreline, and now it's beginning to affect the road. This project will preserve that, but more than that, it will create a new entertainment and well-being space for all Jamaicans.
The project is now 23% complete. The scope of work includes the installation of 1 kilometer of composite seawall and armor stone revetment structure. The drainage system in the area will also be upgraded, and 1 kilometer of existing roadway will be rehabilitated and raised. A 4.7-meter wide boardwalk will be installed to improve the aesthetics of the site and promote recreational activity along the shoreline. In addition, an 80-meter fishing village will be created for fisherfolk in the area who currently berth their vessels along the shoreline. The Port Royal Street Coastal Revetment Project is being coordinated by JSIF and implemented under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project through a loan from the World Bank. Government is welcoming the support that will be provided to stakeholders in the tourism and agriculture sectors under Phase 2 of the Rural Economic Development Initiative, READY2. The READY project focuses on enhancing linkages among producers, service providers and buyers to improve economies for small agricultural and tourism enterprises while enhancing market access for these businesses. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says the $40 million project is timely as both sectors strive to recover from the devastating impact of COVID-19. Minister Green implores those who will benefit from READY2 to work with the program to achieve bigger results.
To think big, to craft great big proposals that can move your communities forward. I want you to think, throw out the box. Don't think about the box. We know the challenges. We know what is needed. And I can tell you and I can assure you, the team at JSIF and at agencies like RADA are willing to work with you to put those proposals to paper and to handhold you through the process.
Minister Green was speaking at the recent launch of READY2, which is being implemented by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund with funding from the World Bank. He says farmers in St. Anne, Manchester and St. Elizabeth are still benefiting from cluster greenhouse water harvesting technology implemented under Phase 1. In addition, fisherfolk are reaping positive results after applying business-oriented approaches from training received under the initiative's first phase. For his part, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the project will enable stakeholders to provide a richer visitor experience in communities and also to tap into the tourism value chain.
The timing couldn't be more perfect. As at a glance, I see that tourism will play a big part in READY2 in areas such as enhanced agriculture and tourism linkages, enhanced marketing of community tourism enterprises, diversified tourism offerings allowing for expenditure and earnings within local communities.
And finally, Minister of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, Pernell Charles Jr., is encouraging Jamaicans to make tree planting and maintenance a regular part of their daily lives. He made the appeal during last Friday's National Tree Planting Day activities at the Forestry Department property in Kingston. The Environment and Climate Change Minister said all Jamaicans must go out and plant a tree for the greater purpose of sustaining the environment. He pledged to lead the initiative to spread green spaces across the island. Meanwhile, Principal Director of Forest Operations at the Forestry Department, Jerome Smith, says in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, the department has launched a virtual tree planting exercise. Persons are encouraged to take a picture or record a video of themselves planting a tree and email it to fdinfo@forestry.gov.jm or forestrypr@gmail.com. The pictures and videos will be uploaded to the agency's social media pages. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.